Hello, this is Stephanie Johnson from Learning and Development, and joining me today is Carl Huber.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, Carl. We're here to tell you more about Oakwood's 3-year plan, Forward Together. Now, Carl, as I understand it, you have a new role with Oakwood.
Well, that's true, Stephanie. I used to be in the IT department, and now Chris has asked me to help him and the senior leaders and all of Oakwood achieve our 3-year plan, Oakwood 2020. So I'm happy to be here today to talk more about that 3-year plan.
Okay, and as you hear from Carl, Oakwood's 3-year plan has a new name. It's Oakwood 2020, Forward Together, and it's been approved by Mapletree. And the plan is 2020. It runs through March 31st of 2020. That's the name. And this communication is part of Oakwood's continuing efforts to share openly and often about our 3-year plan.
That's right, Stephanie, and it also highlights key points and more details about the plan that were not covered in the recent town halls. So we hope it'll add to your knowledge about the 3-year plan. We'd also like to point out that recently an FAQ, or frequently asked questions, about Oakwood 2020 was released and can be found on Oakwood's intranet, which has recently been renamed Insight.
Good. Well, these elements should give a little bit more insight to Oakwood's 3-year plan, Oakwood 2020. And we should talk more about the plan and what it is and what it is not.
Yeah, Stephanie. Well, first, let's talk about what it is not. It's not a magic silver bullet. It doesn't solve all our problems just by existing. And it's also not perfect. We know there are things that are going to have to change between now and April 1st, 2020 to reflect what's going on in the world and the marketplace. What it is a well-thought-out guide to our future that's focused on the core things Oakwood needs to do. And as mentioned, we know it's going to change, so it's purposely built to be flexible.
So in this video, we want to understand the Oakwood 2020 plan better by answering some questions. When does the plan start? Where is it being implemented? Who's responsible for the execution of the plan? What are the pillars and foundations of the plan?
Yeah, Stephanie, and as you know, we're actually recording 2 videos. This is the first part, and you've identified the pieces that will be in this first part. In the second part, we'll look more at some specific actions, how we're going to measure our progress and success, and why we have a 3-year plan at all.
Well, let's dive right into the when. So as we spoke before, the 3-year plan has begun. We actually started in April of 2017, so we're 8 months into the 3-year plan as we're recording this. And so we have a lot more work to do by March 31st of 2020.
Right, and as you mentioned, Stephanie, we're 8 months in, and many have asked, well, what happens after April 1st, 2020? And the good news is that we'll be already completed with a plan for the next 5 years of Oakwood's development. That'll cover from 2020 through 2025, and we'll start working on that and getting that approved late next year.
So Oakwood 2020 plan applies to all 3 regions of Oakwood. So that's the Americas, Europe, and Asia. So there's just one plan for all 3 regions. While each region has their own budget and specific tasks to make the plan happen, we're all marching towards the same goal. So you might ask yourself, well, who is responsible for the plan? Who's the most important employee to help Oakwood meet its 3-year plan?
Those are great questions, Stephanie, and the answer is also great because it's really everyone. Oakwood can't possibly achieve its 3-year plan without everyone's involvement and contribution. So the magic mirror answer to those questions are?
Well, in synthesis, it sounds like, Carl, you're saying we all are.
We all are. Everyone who's listening to this recording or viewing this document for the execution of the plan.
You know, we've had a lot of people ask, well, what can I do to help support the plan? And one of the first things is understanding that the plan is underway now. Have a sense of urgency because we have begun, and as we've already spoken, several months have passed and we have a lot more work to do.
Right, Stephanie. Another thing everyone can do is to take ownership of specific tasks that will help Oakwood on this journey. And if you aren't aware of any tasks, you can volunteer to help. So that's another thing that you can do.
And you can make choices. So when you have tasks aligned with the plan, think to yourself, what's the greatest impact in achieving the 3-year plan out of my task, and make those tasks the priority.
Right, and you can also ask some tough questions. We mentioned the frequently asked questions that's out there on Insight, but if you go through that and you still have questions, be sure to ask. We want you to understand the plan and how you can help.
So this transformation requires courage, commitment, and effort from each and every one of us to achieve what we're trying to do in just under 3 years now. Breaking down the plan of the foundations and pillars of Oakwood 2020, we start with talent. Our 3-year plan is built on 2 foundations, the first of which is talent. We need to make sure we have the right employees in the right roles and give them the support they need to succeed.
The second foundation of the plan, Stephanie, is fixing IT and financial systems. And here, we need to adjust both of those so they work with Mapletree's fiscal year, which starts on April 1st, rather than our normal calendar year of January 1st. We also need to support the delegation of authority concept, where at least 2 employees approve both purchases and expenses.
Building on those foundations is the first pillar of our plan, smart growth. We need to grow profitably and improve pricing in a manner consistent with what our clients expect from Oakwood.
Our second pillar is fix the mix. In here, we need to add more profitable fee-managed buildings where it makes sense and use other product offerings like OCH and supply chain to our best advantage.
The third pillar of our plan is to get faster, better, and smarter at delivering our services. This includes standardizing and automating processes so we're more efficient and reorganizing our operating model to a market, not product-based structure. So what does it all mean? How does it all fit together, Carl?
Well, Stephanie, you can see on this summary slide that we have our 2 foundations, talent and fix IT and financial systems, and our 3 pillars, smart growth, fix the mix, and faster, better, smarter. And as you'll recall, those pillars are built on our foundations. And what are they all leading to? Well, this whole process of our 3-year plan puts us in a position to better serve the market and our customers.
So this seems like a good place to remind everyone, if you have questions about what we've presented on the 3-year plan so far, you can email them to justask@oakwood.com. We'll answer your questions and call in a subject matter expert if we need to go in depth to your questions and make sure all of those get answered.
Yeah, and this ends our first segment of our 3-year plan video. Thank you for listening and watching. Tune in next time, and Excelsior.